OMY2 Stepwise System Diagnosis Process. A technician of a solar water pump is like a doctor treating a patient. Just the way a doctor asks for the symptoms to his or her patients and then prescribes a medicine, similarly, a technician is required to ask for the problem and then follow the steps to understand what could have gone wrong and where. A step-by-step process of diagnosing makes the process of maintenance easy and fruitful. Let's discuss the stepwise diagnostic process for a solar pump servicing. In the first step, check the voltage and current of the solar array using a multimeter, keeping in mind the weather conditions. The VMP and IMP should be checked in closed circuit only. If the voltage rating comes below the overall solar array VMP rating, a few things need to be checked. 1. Check if there is dust accumulation on the panels. The panels need to be cleaned regularly to ensure optimum energy output. 2. Check if there is any shadow falling on the solar modules and remove the obstruction. Sometimes, due to wrong installation, there can be obstructed sunlight which can be fixed by repositioning the modules. 3. Check for any loose connection in wiring or MC4 connectors. If any loose connection or faulty connector is found, it needs to be repaired or replaced. If the problem still persists, then individual modules need to be checked using multimeter and the faulty module or modules need to be replaced. In the second step, check the condition of the miniature circuit breaker or MCB inside the pump controller box. If any current or voltage surge occurs inside the system, the MCB will trip and disconnect the circuit. The solar module MCB, grid MCB and pump MCB must be turned on. If the MCB is burnt, it has to be replaced with an MCB of the same rating. In the third step, check for the continuous power output from the solar array by using a multimeter. If there is a big fluctuation in power output, it must be the issue of the controller. The servicing technician can modify the controller setting to ensure constant power output is restored. Otherwise, if there is an internal issue of the pump controller, then it has to be dismantled and taken to a servicing center for further diagnosis. In the next step, the water level is checked for submersible pumps usage. If the water level goes down from the minimum head range of the pump, the column pipe length can be increased by approximately 10 feet. This will ensure a water flow even though the pressure of flow might reduce. Also, groundwater recharge needs to be done in the region to bring up the water table. In the fifth step, the pump condition needs to be checked. For surface pumps, the motor and pump set are opened separately and checked. 1. The motor winding is checked for any wear and tear and damage. 2. The pump must be checked for any blockage or jam that needs to be cleared. Once checked, the pump and motor must be joined and lubricated. For submersible pumps, firstly, the pump is taken out from the borewell and then the same diagnostic checks are done like surface pumps. During reassembly, water must be added into the pump before reinserting the pump into the borewell. In case the winding coil of the motor gets more than 50% burnt due to long usage or accident, then the whole coil has to be replaced. Otherwise, just the burnt portion can be replaced. Remember, pump lubrication is good practice during system diagnosis. Lastly, check if there is any insulation failure by using an insulation tester. If it's showing any current at the joining points, it's very risky to operate the solar pump. Shut down the system immediately and insulate all the connecting points using insulation tape. Also, any damaged wire needs to be replaced or repaired. Ensure that the controller is properly earthed and checked using an earth meter. The earth meter reading should be less than 1 OHM. If the earth meter reads more than 1 OHM, then earthing chemical compounds need to be added in the ground where the earth wire is inserted. Otherwise, a mixture of salt and charcoal can be used and water needs to be poured on it till a reading of less than 1 OHM is achieved.